you know, when it comes to passions. Um, I know a lot of people, they worry about time. So like even people in their 20s, around kind of my age, they have a career already and they're not necessarily happy with it. They don't necessarily love it, but they're not comfortable with the idea of thinking they have to start again, start from scratch. Like, what would your advice be to people who feel this way?
Yeah, it's a great question, and I think it is very common. That discomfort is very real, and it's big. As much as you might be dissatisfied with the situation you're in right now, that unknown can be very intimidating. Like, well, what
Hmm.
happens if I leave? Am I gonna like the, Am I gonna find something else? Am I gonna like the next thing? Um, it's I think for me, um, it hasn't been too difficult, almost because I'm kind of attracted to that. I'm kind of
Hmm.
drawn to that. I like. Um, it was funny. I was talking to one of my managers one time, a guy named Jonathan that I was working for, and he said, "You're a little bit of an adrenaline junkie when it comes to careers, aren't you?" And I never thought of it that way, but I don't know. Maybe I am, just like being willing to just leave something behind without even knowing what I'm going to do next. And I think that is
Hmm.
hard for a lot of people. Um, one of the things, if when I'm coaching someone, if they're talking about what you're talking about, what I might ask them is, what exactly is it that feels uncomfortable for you about that? What are you afraid of? What are you concerned about? And I think really exploring that a little bit, and making that a little more, and it is uncomfortable for people to even talk about it a little bit. But I think sometimes there's just a vague fear of the unknown. And when you start talking more specifically about what you are concerned about, what do you think is going to go wrong? What are you worried about? Then you start seeing ways of managing that, or working with those concerns, that can allow you to move forward and maybe start looking for something else.
Hmm. Do you find there's a common answer to that question?
Um, I don't know. I think that's, the coaching that I do is I call it client centered coaching, because I'm not really an advisor. I don't give people
Hmm.
a lot of advice. I tell people that I'm a professional 5-year old. Have you ever been around little 5-year old, 5 and 6-year old kids? They ask a lot of questions, right? Like you're going to paint a room in your house. Maybe you're going to paint your bedroom. Like, what are you doing? I'm going to paint the bedroom. Why are you going to paint the bedroom? Well, because we wanted a different color. And then what's the kid going to say?
Why do you want a different colour?
Yeah, why do you want it a different color? Or what color do you want it? Oh, we're going to paint
Yeah.
it blue. Oh, is blue your favorite color? No. What's your favorite color? Well, green. Well, why don't you paint the room green? Right? Like kids just do that, and it's
Hmm.
kind of what I do as a coach. Now, kids that can 5-year-old kids can be a lot to deal with, when they start asking questions like that. So I do it in a little more, hopefully, a little more professional and less overwhelming way. Excuse me, but it is really what I do as a coach, is ask a lot of questions and not really
Hmm.
give advice. So, and I find that's very effective in a situation like you're talking about, because it is different for different people. There might be some common concerns that, like if someone doesn't like their job and they're thinking about shifting to a new career, then am I going to be able to pay the bills? Am I going to
Yeah.
like the new career? Actually, is it going to be better, or is it just going to be worse? So I think there are some common concerns that people have, but then beyond that, it does become very personal, and it
Yeah.
starts, depending on people's previous experiences, or how they feel about their current job, how they feel about their prospects for doing other things. And that's why this kind of Socratic method of coaching, this client centered method of coaching, works really well, because I'm just going to ask them questions. I ask people questions that help them really explore what their thinking is, and
Hmm.
kind of bring all that to light, so that again they can start working with it and make decisions based on not just what they're kind of pushing away and not wanting to look at, but having all that out in the light to explore.
Hey guys, thank you so much for getting to the end of that episode. Hope you enjoyed it. If you want to see more things like that, click here and don't forget to subscribe.